Most people don't realize that there are different types of sexual transmutation and even different levels within each type. Those practicing semen retention and sexual abstinence with the intention of improving themselves should have a well-stocked toolkit of transmutation tactics so they can actually reap the benefits of their practice. Otherwise, they will likely see no benefits and may actually end up in a constant state of suffering and self-induced torture. Sexual transmutation, sexual alchemy, sexual sublimation. These are all terms used interchangeably to describe the same concept of redirecting your lower energies to higher pursuits. On this path, you will see tremendous gains in both the material and spiritual planes. You play guitar? Great. Your guitar game is about to skyrocket. You own a business? Great, because you're about to scale that sucker tenfold. Whatever you do in conjunction with this practice will be very successful. There are two main types of sex transmutation tactics, passive and active. Passive transmutation happens as a side effect when one inundates themselves in work or creative activities. For example, engaging in practices like karma yoga and working with the intention of bettering humanity will transmute your sexual energy efficiently. But some mistake this to mean that simply practicing celibacy and showing up for work every day will transmute their sexual energy. This is far from the truth. We'll return to that in a few minutes. Active transmutation occurs when one consciously directs their energy upwards in their energetic system by means of spiritual sadhana or spiritual practice. For example, chanting or japa, meditation, visualization, and prayer work very well for active transmutation of sexual energy. And this type of transmutation can happen very smoothly when you experience sexual urges. So when you're practicing semen retention, just know that you don't need to fear sexual urges. You should actually train yourself to look forward to these in the sense that they are prime moments when the energy is ready for transmutation. Today, we are going to go over passive transmutation and active transmutation, including the various levels of consciousness involved in active transmutation. We will also provide tips you can use to start transmuting your sexual energy effectively today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notifications icon so you can stay up to date with our content, and we will surely continue to release videos like this one. Sex transmutation has been a transformative part of my life for over 5 years. My journey began with semen retention, which, believe it or not, was the missing piece that led to my success. Prior to reading Swami Shivananda's book, Practice of Brahmacharya, I was simply abstaining from ejaculation without any real understanding of the process. This lack of knowledge meant that I struggled to maintain retention for any significant streak length, and even worse, I endured a lot of suffering during that time. It wasn't until I learned about sexual transmutation that everything changed. By applying the techniques I discovered, I not only managed to retain my essence for extended periods, but I also began to experience a bliss that words can't fully capture. If I hadn't found these insights, I would have likely given up on my retention practice altogether, as it merely made me frustrated and angry, and I wasn't seeing any benefits. However, everything shifted for the better when I started implementing the strategies that I'm about to share with you today. Before we dive into the intricacies of sexual transmutation, I want to take a moment to invite you to reflect on your own experiences with sexual energy. Think about the times when you felt a sexual urge or a surge of energy. How did you handle it? Did you channel that energy into something productive, or did it lead you down a different path? Understanding sex transmutation is crucial in today's world because it directly affects personal growth, mental clarity, and creative pursuits. In a society that often encourages distraction and instant gratification, learning to redirect sexual energy can help individuals focus better on their goals and ambitions. By practicing sexual transmutation, people can harness their creative potential, leading to breakthroughs in their work, hobbies, and relationships. This practice not only supports emotional and mental well-being, but also empowers individuals to connect more deeply with themselves and their surroundings. As more people explore sexual transmutation, it becomes easier to build a supportive community that values self-improvement and spiritual growth. Ultimately, grasping the principles of sex transmutation can lead to a more fulfilling and purpose-driven life. And eventually, for those who go all the way, this can lead to the ultimate goal of human existence: self-realization. Sexual transmutation, as popularized in the West by Napoleon Hill, is a powerful concept that emphasizes redirecting sexual energy towards productive pursuits. Hill stated, when driven by this desire, men develop keenness of imagination, courage, willpower, persistence, and creative ability unknown to them at other times. So strong and impelling is the desire for sexual contact that men freely run the risk of life and reputation to indulge it. When harnessed and redirected along other lines, this motivating force maintains all of its attributes of keenness of imagination, courage, etc., which may be used as powerful creative forces in literature, art, or in any other profession or calling, including, of course, the accumulation of riches. This quote verifies what we advocate on this channel consistently. Whatever it is that you want to accomplish in life, sexual transmutation will enhance your ability to achieve it. By harnessing and redirecting this potent energy, you can unlock creativity and drive that can lead to significant personal and professional successes. Understanding this principle is crucial for anyone looking to maximize their potential and improve their lives through the practice of sex transmutation. But the benefits don't just extend to worldly endeavors. They affect the spiritual plane also, the other world that we can't see with our eyes. Engaging in sex transmutation not only enhances your creative and material pursuits, but it also fosters a deeper connection to your true spiritual self. This practice allows you to tap into energies that elevate your consciousness and bring you closer to your ultimate purpose. We will return to that in a minute. Semen retention is the practice of abstaining from ejaculation to conserve and redirect sexual energy. This concept has significant implications for personal development, mental clarity, and spiritual growth. When practitioners embrace semen retention, they often find that they can harness their sexual energy for other pursuits, leading to increased creativity and productivity. Two prominent semen retention schools of thought are Akhanda Brahmacharya and Taoist semen retention. Akhanda Brahmacharya focuses on the sublimation of all your sexual impulses in word, thought, and deed. This practice encourages complete abstinence and channeling of your sexual energy into spiritual growth and self-improvement. Taoist retention, on the other hand, allows for a balanced sex life that includes ejaculation frequency schedules and alchemical tactics to transmute urges that occur between sexual encounters. This approach emphasizes the importance of understanding and managing sexual energy while still embracing healthfully one's natural desires, creating a harmonious balance between sexual expression and personal growth. The term celibacy often falls short to describe what we are doing here because it is often used without the practice of transmutation. While celibacy implies abstaining from sexual activity, it does not necessarily involve the conscious effort to redirect sexual energy into productive pursuits. Many people practice celibacy but may not engage in transmutation tactics, which can leave them feeling frustrated or disconnected from their true potential. Retainers who don't transmute their sexual energy will find themselves struggling with feelings of anger, restlessness, or even depression. They may abstain from ejaculation, yet lack the tools or understanding to utilize that energy effectively. They may feel a sense of loss or confusion without realizing that the energy they're suppressing can be efficiently transformed into creativity, focus, and spiritual growth. Ultimately, it is the practice of transmutation that unlocks the true benefits of semen retention, allowing individuals to harness their sexual energy in meaningful ways. A common misconception surrounding sex transmutation is that it is synonymous with celibacy. Many people falsely believe that simply refraining from sexual activity is enough to achieve the benefits of transmutation. This is far from the truth. This view overlooks the crucial element of actively redirecting sexual energy. Transmutation is not just about abstaining. It requires conscious effort and practice to channel that energy effectively. Even in the case of passive transmutation, it is the inundation and work that channels the energy. Transmutation done right involves engaging in practices that allow individuals to harness their sexual energy and use it to fuel creativity, productivity, and spiritual growth. This might include techniques such as meditation, visualization, or physical exercise that help convert sexual energy into higher vibrations. It's important to understand that transmutation is an active process, one that requires intention and awareness. Those who merely practice celibacy without incorporating transmutation techniques will miss out on the profound benefits that come from consciously redirecting their energy towards spiritual development. To better understand how to effectively harness sexual energy, it's important to recognize the difference between passive and active transmutation. Each approach offers distinct methods for channeling energy, while passive transmutation occurs as a side product of one inundating themselves in creativity, work, and other productive pursuits. In contrast, active transmutation requires a conscious redirection of the energy into its higher forms. Passive transmutation occurs as a side effect when one inundates themselves in work such as karma yoga or other creative and intellectual pursuits. While many believe that simply refraining from ejaculation will lead to transmutation, this mindset can be misleading. It is vital to channel the surplus energy constructively. Otherwise, individuals may waste time on unproductive activities, leading to frustration and negative emotion. Also, please don't misunderstand what we are saying here. Simply abstaining and thinking that you are engaging in passive transmutation is not what we are talking about. If you don't fully engage yourself in your work, and I mean fully, monk mode style fully, and you, for example, waste any time sitting around scrolling TikTok, then you not only put yourself at risk of slipping, but you are also not engaging the surplus energies that retention is bringing you, and you will likely end up angry and getting other negative side effects. If you choose to go the passive route, all of your day, but maybe 1 hour, should be devoted to work, exercise, creative, and other intellectual pursuits. Point blank. Active transmutation involves consciously directing one's energy upwards through spiritual practices or spiritual sadhana. This process requires the individual to engage their sexual energy intentionally, utilizing various techniques to transform that energy into creative and spiritual growth. The levels of consciousness involved in active transmutation can range from fully conscious efforts, where one is fully aware of the energy and its direction, to partially conscious and subconscious efforts, where the practitioner automatically or partially automatically transmutes sexual urges. Self-realization is the ultimate goal of life. It transcends the three ordinary states of consciousness: wakefulness, dream sleep, and deep sleep. These states are temporary and can often cloud our true nature. However, there exists a fourth state, known as Turiya. Turiya is the state of pure consciousness, the essence of who you truly are. It is your only true state, and it actually is who you really are. And the practices of transmutation, meditation, and spiritual sadhana are but mere tools or tricks to open your divine eyes. The highest aim of self-realization often involves the destruction of the subconscious tendencies that are associated with lust. This journey is about transcending the desires and attachments that bind you to the material world. When you reach this state, you experience boundless bliss. This bliss is not dependent on the external circumstances, but flows from within you as you recognize your oneness with the divine. Ultimately, God realization is where you understand that you are not separate from the divine, but you are actually an integral part of it. This awakening transforms your perception of reality, allowing you to live in harmony with the universe and experience life in its fullest, most vibrant form. So now, I will provide some tips that you can use on your transmutation journey to achieve success. Tip 1. Understand that urges are opportunities for transmutation. Instead of fearing them, use them wisely to channel that energy into productive pursuits. Tip 2. Prepare yourself with a healthy arsenal of transmutation tactics. This will ensure that you're ready when urges arise and can effectively redirect that energy. You can peel my channel if you want. I have a playlist full of guided exercises that I personally use from my arsenal. Tip 3. Incorporate both passive and active methods into your practice. This dual approach will give you the flexibility to manage your energy effectively. Tip 4. If you are hell-bent on only using passive transmutation, then adopt a monk mode lifestyle fully. Dedicate all of your time to your work and personal projects. If you fail to do this, then you are at risk not only of failing to transmute your energy, but also slipping back into old habits. Don't let that happen. Don't do that to yourself. Feel free to check out the top video for a deep dive on monk mode if you are interested in passive transmutation. I provide my own personal schedule there that I, for the most part, use to this very day. Check out the bottom video for a deep dive on how you can train for the different scenarios of sexual urges with various tactics and their appropriate timing if you plan to use active transmutation. This is arguably one of the most important things in this matter.